the best of Redditors updates. We have a new crazy Reddit story that says, for months I was confused why I kept finding long hair in my house. Then I saw my neighbor coming out of my house. Nani? And so this was an old thread that was concluded recently, and once it got concluded, it took like a boom in popularity. What's the trigger warning? Stalking, invasion of privacy, breaking an entry, mood spoiler, extremely creepy. And that's not a mood spoiler for us. Okay, the original post was on May 6, 2026, so it wasn't that long. I'm a man in my 20s that lives alone on the very top floor of an apartment block. I've had short hair for the last 10 years of my life. The longest hair on my head may be an inch long, if that even. However, across my house, I kept finding long hairs on the floor, like long brunette hair, at least 5 or 6 inches, sometimes longer, and they would be everywhere. Bathroom floor, in the shower, in my cupboard, in my kitchen, on old clothes, living room floor, and sofas, etc. What would you guys do if you lived alone, you're a dude with short hair, and you keep finding long hair in your house? Like, I would think it's haunted, or there's an alien that come at night. I've been single since November and clean often enough that I'm certain it's not my ex-girlfriend's hair. Plus, the color doesn't match anyway. She has solid black hair. These are more light brunette. Plus, finding them in places like the shower where running water is hitting all the... Wait, he's finding long hair in the shower? That is... I would freak the fuck out. Anyway, I waved it off as well. I work for a lot of people and use the gym and bus sometimes, so naturally hairs are going to stick to my clothes. Well, one day this past April, I finished my early AM gym session and got the call that I didn't have to go to work that day, so naturally I start to walk home all happy that I have the day to myself. I'm on the 5th floor, the uppermost floor of the building, and the apartment is in such a way that there is only one apartment per floor. I start to hustle up the stairs and don't use the elevator since I'm sweaty from the gym anyway. Just as I whip a right to go up the last set of stairs from the 4th floor to the 5th floor, I see my neighbor's on the 3rd floor daughter coming down the stairs. We lock eye contact. We've never spoken before, mostly because we've never had a reason to, but also because out of respect, I didn't want to make her uncomfortable since she's 19, 21-ish and I'm slightly older. The most interactions we've had is that I've spoken to her mother and father before when bumping into each other on the stairs. I gave a confused hello. At this point, I'm thinking that she may want to knock on my door to ask for something. A cup of sugar, maybe? I don't know. I was expecting her to reply with something like, oh, hi, do you have XYZ? Oh, because... So he's on the uppermost floor, and there's one apartment per floor, so if she's coming down, that means the only place she could have been is his place. So, nope, she doesn't ask him anything. She just gave him a silent hey and brushed right past me. And only then, when the smell of my own shampoo hit me, that I noticed her hair was wet. Like fresh out of the shower a minute ago wet. Now, I'm not saying she showered in my house, or that I have a stalker that's been living in my house while I've been at work. She's very easily could have just been there to ask for something, and most generic brand shampoos smell the same. Yeah, but how did she get in? But don't the pieces all fit a bit too well? Her hair color matches the hair I would find in my apartment. Like I said before, they were everywhere in my bed and my sock drawers. And if it is a case of me having a stalker, how did she know I came home early enough to bolt out the shower in time? Our apartment doesn't have cameras. It's like an older building from the 2000. And why would she be stalking me? For how long she's been doing this? We never dated, never had a proper convo. I maybe saw her 20 times in the past 2 years, given that I work and she presumably studies or work too. As all of these thoughts are buzzing through my head and I'm standing outside my door for a solid 2 minutes grappling with what just happened, I go to turn the key to my door and it happens without me having to unlock it. What do you mean? Why is it? How did she get the keys to unlock his door? And I know for a fact I always double lock my door. It's a type with a lock near waist level and a second more secure lock with a different key around shoulder level. What? I drop my bag, throw off my shoes and run to the shower and yep, it's wet. I hadn't showered since yesterday morning. I'm a confrontational person. Not that I go looking for fights, but I definitely pursue an answer if something is bugging me. So back down the stairs to the 3rd floor I went, knocked on the door. My parents' stalker and her family. She opens the door, but with the chain still on. I see half of the face from behind the door. Yes, can I help? Were you at my door or inside? I don't want to make this a police thing now, but you came down the stairs and I know you were inside. I just had to get something. I won't happen again. Okay, bye. See you. Door closed. This happened last month. I've been cleaning my house every weekend closely now and got the locks changed and put a motion sensor camera above my door. It only films and triggers on the steps coming to my door, so the 4th apartment still have their privacy. So far, so good. I don't think she's been inside since, but looking back, I think she's been living in or going in or whatever into my apartment since January because that's my earliest memory of finding hair. She never took anything of value like my laptop or the few watches I have. Seemingly, she showered and ate some of my food and laid in my bed. I do now also always take the elevator and avoid the 3rd floor like the plague. Edit, I'm not really worried about my safety because he does a lot of training. He is a big guy. The new camera has never gone off since installed other than myself triggering it when I'm home. Finally, 3, I told the old retired husband and wife on the 4th floor that I suspected a robber was trying to break into my apartment last month, and I asked them to keep an ear out when I'm at work. Someone DM'd me to check my coats and bags for AirTags as to how maybe she knew I was coming home early that day. I don't have a lot of stuff, so I think I would have 100% found it by now. Okay, so there's an update on May 12th. My cousin's husband is a police officer, so I went to him directly about filing a report. He came over to my apartment first and gave him a visual breakdown of what happened on the stairs and changes, odd things I noticed in my apartment since January. Primarily just hairs everywhere and missing food, and how my door was. Dude, I'd be pissed if somebody ate my Twinkies when I was not. And if somebody slept in my bed, that's disgusting. Maybe they even wore their outside clothes in my bed. Nah, dude. And how my door was unlocked that day. Though I did a thorough clean following the event of the stairs, my police friend was able to still find some hairs, and so he bagged those up. Rima, your house is stalker proof. If they eat your food, they are cooked from the mold. True. Nobody's eating your food, Rima. It's moldy. Why is it disgusting? She clearly takes showers in his apartment, so she's clean. Well, I would definitely notice if somebody took a shower in my shower because I don't shower often, so I'd be like, why is it wet? Okay, I'm joking. I do shower kind of often, like at least every 2 days, sometimes 3. Stinky Rima. Listen, I work from home. You guys are lucky if I'm putting pants in the morning. With all that done, he left and came back 2-3 days later. He and his partner went to talk to the family on Sunday because they know both parents would likely be home then. Long story short, she confessed to everything immediately and broke down into tears and apologized once my police friend brought up how 5 months of entering someone's house, even with the keys, is still very much an offense. She could easily end up with a sentence of some, should I pursue it? And that sentence could very easily involve the inside of a jail cell, regardless if she stole something or not. He doesn't know if his friend bluffed or whatever. They talked for an hour with the parents and her all in the same room to get answers from her. And then the same day he came up to mine with his partner and they gave me the breakdown. I need to know why she did this. How did she get in / have her own keys? The lock on our doors are the type that use a code on the lock barrel that only the manufacturer or partner / approval locksmiths have access to. She knew this because her parents got the locks changed when they first moved, and in fact she used the same locksmith from all the way back then. The locksmith presumably remembered the family and apartment, but just didn't pay attention to it being on the 5th floor this time instead of her own 3rd floor. So he came over and took the barrel out, saw the code, went and made a set of keys done. I was none the wiser. Both my locks on my door are different brands, but presumably they operate in the same way, so having 2 locks made no difference? What was she doing in my apartment? Anyone who just said she needed space, you were right. She has 2 younger step-siblings, and her mother is a tutor. She tutors at home, so at any given point, there's always some kids around the house. She would say to her parents she was going out to study or work, or a girlfriend house and use my house as a hotel while she studied or relax. The reason she used mine was partly because she knew it would be empty, but also because my schedule was predictable. As I work on average 9 to 5 like everyone else, but leave the house at 6:30 to get gym done too, that essentially give her the house for 6 to 5. Girl, just go to a cafe. What the fuck? How long? My guess was right. It started in January when she figured I'd broken up with my girlfriend at the time around November. And then my girlfriend would stay at mine when I went to work and back sometimes. So yeah, that would have been an interesting situation if they had crossed paths. How did she know I was coming home early that day? And that I wasn't going to work straight after gym like usual, so she bolted out the shower. Or on the days I didn't go to gym, how did she know not to come in? Twofold. Firstly, I go to a commercial gym in my country, and so they have an app. And regardless of if you're a member or not, one of the things the app lets you see is how many people are in each brand, so you can see how full it is. Okay, I don't believe him anymore. Nani, what? All you have to do is download it and scan the QR code at the entrance by the turnstiles to add it to my gym tab. It literally shows you like branch number 1, address 9. Okay, so they just dox you. 9 on 50, 80% full. She would refresh the app in the morning and it went up by 1 around 6 to 6:30 a.m. and she heard me go downstairs or use the elevator. Not hard when it's 6 a.m. and the apartment is otherwise silent, and she would know the house is empty. Yeah, that just ain't safe. Now for the creepiest, most messed up bit of all, she had put an AirTag on my car. She insists that she only put it recently, initially just presumably gambled that I wouldn't be home sooner than expected. Or maybe she just put an ear to the door, but then one thing led to another, and yeah, I don't know how much I believe this. Again, this could be an attempt to not look so guilty. That day when we clashed, she refreshed the app and I saw I left the gym, but then my car didn't move. She connected the dots and tried to leave ASAP. When she heard me coming up the stairs, she didn't have time to lock up, so we met on the stairs with my door remaining closed but not locked. Extra detail, the AirTag was stuck to under my car. They're using my shower. She claims she didn't do it always, just on hot days or days she couldn't at home. I can't deny or confirm this. Like I said previously, being a gym goer, I shower 5 times a week, so. How did her parents never notice? Well, the dad leaves early for work, 5 a.m.-ish. His bus route starts around 6. Okay, I don't care about these details. Did she have a thing for me, like a crush? My police friend didn't really say anything about this. Presumably he never asked, and it's not as important as other details, or it never came back. It makes little difference. How's my standing with the family right now? The mom and dad both apologized to me. The mom via text and the dad in person at my door. He offered to pay for the camera I installed as his daughter was the direct cause of it, but it was a cheap off on Amazon, so I said no, it's fine. We had a 10-15 minute conversation. He was very apologetic and explained his daughter had always been extremely quiet and well behaved, so something like this would never have crossed his mind in a million years. He added that his daughter never had a boyfriend and only had a few friends through her social interaction skills aren't necessarily top-notch, and that even when guests would come, she'd hide away in the spare room. The few people who predicted that maybe COVID and lockdown led to her not having good social interaction skills, you were half right. He again offered me money for my troubles like missing food, new logs, and cleaning, but I felt bad enough that I declined. He also asked if I would press charge and I said no. More on that below. He said he'll send his daughter to apologize to me in person too, and the situation has calmed down as she's apparently very, very tense and upset and hasn't left her rooms in days. Bro, I'd force her to leave the room. If you do something bad, you don't get to lock yourself in your room and, like, will it all away. Am I going to press charges? No, I'm still not happy about the situation, especially the fucking AirTag on my car, but the family is apologetic as well as the culprit herself. And no one's going to gain anything from this. I'd like an apology though. Have I seen her since? No, she won't apparently leave her room and is terrified that I'll press charges, though presumably her family's told her I said I won't. How do I currently feel? Well, I was never especially worried or nervous, just really creeped out about the whole situation. I felt like I'd been a parasite host or somehow never noticed until then. I can still feel a little angry, and a small part of me is thinking to seek revenge. Dude, she probably pooped in his toilet. I just realized that. Ew. So their butt indirectly touched each other. That's what it means. Because he put his butt on the toilet seat and then she did so too. Ew. 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 That's gross. You're right. I know I'm right. What the fuck? That's gross. Ew. No. It's an indirect butt kiss. Ew. Beat me to it. I bet she peed in his pool too. Yo, what if she peed in his shower? I know you guys told me a lot of people pee in the showers. Oh my god. Ugh. Do I feel bad for her? Truthfully, no. She's not 10. She's 20 or something and educated. So yeah, you should be remorseful, feel guilty and scared. Get over the hump and we'll talk, because there's a lot of spaces for young adults like public libraries and her college spaces. By no means was my house the only viable option. Finally, dude, auntie, don't put this thought in my head, bro. All I'm picturing right now are like butts on toilet seats. Ew, no, I can't remove it from my head. I can't stop thinking about it. The mold, that's fine, but don't pee in my toilet. At least squat. What the fuck? Finally, did she use my bed or wear my clothes? Believe it or not, yes, she did. She wore his clothes? No. Any advice to use public toilets? I squat. I don't sit on them. That's gross. Any advice I can give? Check your Wi-Fi devices. If I had checked that, I would have noticed her phone and laptop all the way back then. Obviously, my Wi-Fi modem was in my house, and so she helped herself to that. Yeah, but how would she would need to know the password. Yeah, I hover, yes. Again, it's one of those things. How often does one check their Wi-Fi device? Truthfully, with all my family visiting me and their devices, I probably wouldn't have noticed one extra phone amongst the existing 10 plus, but I 100% would have noticed the one extra laptop. So let that be a lesson to all. And yes, I've removed her device from the list and changed my password. Yeah, but bro, she probably used this Netflix, and that would change your recommendations. I would be pissed about that. If they started watching bad movies, then like Netflix would suggest you other bad movies in the same genre to watch. Like, no, like if Netflix suddenly starts suggesting me comedy slop, I'd be like, nah, somebody's been here. Yeah, she touched my algo. Like, let's say there's a really good movie that comes out and you think you've already watched it because somebody else watched it. Oh no, Netflix will suggest you quality slop. Yeah, he's not min-maxing. Just give her a key and have her cook food for him so he doesn't have to cook when he gets back from work. But she's 21. She probably doesn't fucking do anything. And ask for half the rent since apparently he had a roommate. True. Bro, the AirTag under the car. I don't know if I believe that. I'm gonna go in while you're gone, just watch Monty Python movies on repeat. Oh my god, if Netflix starts recommending me the Rock movies, I've got a ghost roommate. It's over. True, bro missed out on his new Yandere girlfriend. Shaking my head. I guess, okay, while reading this though, I noticed that this is very well written. So I think this is like one of the things that makes me a little suspicious about this post. Sometimes reality is crazier than life, and I don't know what this guy does for his job. Some people just really naturally write well, but like even the way the story is structured, like it starts with a hook, there's a clickbait title, it's very well worded, even like there's like dialogue, like it's a story, like the visuals of her opening the door, there's a chain, you can only see her face through the cracked door because the chain is still on, like it's very cinematic. So yeah, I think that's the one thing I'm kind of like sussing out. He took his story to an editor. Maybe it is written by AI. Maybe it's just a skill issue, Rima. Maybe he's just a wordsmith. Maybe he's a story writer as a job. This is typical Reddit slop. Maybe he paid attention in school. Yeah, maybe, unlike us. What's the original? Oh, it's on r/creepy encounters 13 days ago. Wait, he's in his 20s? Then why did he feel awkward saying hello to a girl in her 21? Well, the comments are like, I mean, they seem natural. Maybe he's like 21. Oh, he said 1921? Okay, well, 19, yeah. But the Duyan protagonist is always awkward, Rima. True. He's kind of like Saikuno, Shy Boy Ooh. Yeah, somebody made it presentable in that repost. But like even this part, but don't the pieces all fit a bit too well? Her hair color matches the hairs I would find around my apartment. And like I said before, they were everywhere in my bed and two in my sock drawers. In my bed too, in my sock drawers. All these thoughts are buzzing through my head, and I'm standing outside my door for a solid 2 minutes grappling with what just happened. And this is a fanfic. Like, I've read enough fanfics to realize that. Rima's taking notes? Hell yeah. Wait, why was there hair in his sock drawers? She would take his socks too. Ew, that means the feet also indirectly touch. No, that's fungus galore. Yuck. You don't get to say that. Why not? No, they had indirect footsies. Hey, you, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you in the next video.